Sam, how are you? Hi, Carrie.
Hello. Hello, Sam.
Good morning.
Morning.
Is that an Army hoodie you're wearing there, my friend? West Point? Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that was Army.
It's just an army.
Although I did stop at West Point on my trip over here, so that was a good thing. I picked up a whole bunch of crap. Cost me a lot of money, but it was nice to have it.
What did you buy? What did you buy?
I got myself an West Point new West Point hoodie. I got myself a West Point shirt for my little dog, and got my wife a new West Point hoodie. So not too bad. It was a good trip. I ended up taking a side trip to West Point because that was in the last hour of my trip. So I said, screw it, I'll just stop by West Point. And it was nice to see the old place. It's changed a lot in 30 years, but last time I was there was when I briefed the Secretary of Defense and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. So that was
Wow.
20 years ago. So I got my first Chief of Staff of the Army coin.
Gotcha. Hi, Pat Lee.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Way to go, man.
Morning, Matt. I'm on the Maxwell conference video, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay. All right, I'm here. I have the educational moment queued up too, okay?
I heard you.
Okay.
I've been running the S desk over there for the last half hour. We have our
Okay.
tape and talks this afternoon, 3-minute stories for people to get certified. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't get the emails, or they don't pay attention to the emails, or I don't know what the answer is. So we scrambled the last morning trying to get people assigned.
Yeah, okay. I'm not feeling very good. I got a lot of crud in my nose, so
Gotta get that crud out of your nose.
I've been doing that. Hello, Preston.
Good morning.
Morning, Preston.
Worst part of COVID is the daily drainage every morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, everybody. COVID is real. I keep hearing it all the time. I can now attest. COVID is
Somebody
real.
else get COVID?
Yeah, my wife and I have had it for the last couple of weeks.
I'm
We should be-
thankful I never got it.
Yeah,
I had it 4 times after I got the booster.
is that right?
Yeah. 2 confirmed, 2 unconfirmed.
Oh, man. My wife's been really struggling with it.
I hate to hear that.
Morning, Billy.
Good morning.
Keith. You have a minute afterwards. I have something to share with you, okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry I missed your call yesterday. My daughter's in
No.
town and
No,
And,
children, when you have your kids, that's the most important thing. No,
yeah.
I get that.
She's asleep now though. She's not the early bird that I am. She didn't get that gene from me. So
Is that her mother's side of the family?
oh yeah, very much so.
You didn't get her up at 5 o'clock and doing PT this morning?
No, but we are going to the gym probably around lunchtime.
There you go.
But yeah, she's the night owl, early bird life. That's her thing.
It was 45 degrees this morning. I went out, didn't go walking.
Yeah, I actually slept in today. It was nice because I'm on leave because my daughter's in town. So it was nice. I slept in till 6. And that's sleeping in for me.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what to do to sleep in.
Daylight savings time still has us all messed up.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I can't wait till we can just leave the clocks alone.
But here's the bet. Which will come first? We will expire or we'll actually change, and not have daylight savings time.
If you live in Arizona and Indiana, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Hawaii.
The rest of us. I think they've been
Rest of us
talking
for the
about
rest
getting
of
rid
us.
of, they've been talking about getting rid of daylight savings time ever since I was a kid. It's at least 50 years.
Oh, wow.
We ain't happy yet. Nor have we raised the minimum wage for 33 years, which is a crime. I have to be careful. I'm going to get into politics. Is it any surprise that we have inflation and we didn't increase the minimum wage? So now we've increased it all at one time.
And then now they're being stupid about it.
Yeah. Yep. I guess I'm leading this one. I'm at. I forgot.
That's what we discussed. Yes.
Yep, last week. Yep. All right. Well, it is 7 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. It is the 14th of March. Can you believe it? 3 days away from St. Patty's Day. But today is the start of the NCAA basketball tournament, the dance. So a lot of things going on. Spring break down here in San Antonio, and probably a lot of places. So I know a lot of people are heading to the coast, and hopefully not into Mexico. So crazy stuff going on. Great to have you here. Congratulations on investing in yourself. I mean, that's why we're here, right? This is about you guys. This is about your transition from the military, getting into the job you want, continuing to move forward. So one thing we want to do always is focus in on last time with the spotlight. And we had a couple different things last time. I think, Carrie, you were talking about computer repair, marketing yourself. Billy, you were talking a little bit about learning the rules for sourcing for IT and cyber. And Sam, you talked about one thing you will say is civilian companies are different. And Billy, you even finished up with, we need to, it's that end of day routine. We talked a little bit about maybe it's almost you got to walk into the bedroom, change the clothes just to signify end of day. Get in your car, drive around the block, come back, signify end of day.
Yeah.
What did you guys take away that you've been able to work on the last couple of weeks? That was four big topics. Anybody?
Well, I haven't started, driving around or anything, but I do leave my office and make sure I go to the, go spend time with the family after work. I no longer do the after hours things with with the referrals from LinkedIn coming in, as far as, a friend, referring another service member to me for things. I do it during work hours now. So that way I'm not having to do anything after hours, other than my volunteer stuff that I do with Warrior Transition Outdoors.
That's good. That's good. And some of those other things are just tricks, right? That kind of trick our mind, change clothes, drive around the block. But as long as you can create that end of day break, it's pretty good. By me having my office upstairs, when I walk downstairs to go to dinner, that's kind of the end of the day. So I don't come back upstairs unless I really need to. So that's anybody else do something like that for end of day? Anybody else having the problem?
Usually what I do when I come home at the end of the day, since I live on base and I live 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes from where I work, I need some way, and usually it's coming home and taking off the work clothes and putting on the comfortable clothes and having that Mr. Rogers moment, when he walks in the front door, he takes his jacket off anyway.
Yeah.
And that helps me get in the mindset. It's changing out of my work clothes, changing out of my work attitude, and putting on my civilian clothes and getting ready for, time with the family, time with the wife, time with the daughters.
Good, good. How does that change your focus during the day? Because I used to find that in my mind, I would always say, oh, I'll do that tonight. I'll do that tonight. I'll do that this weekend. Right. And I'm just setting myself up to have to go back to work. So how do you focus on it during the day so you get it done and don't do that? Anybody?
Take lots of breaks.
Lots of breaks during the day?
I mean, the way I have it set up, because I'm not a real job. I have my job at the church, and it's usually on Fridays. And so I'm just basically in the house a lot, unless I go outside for a walk when I go work out or go get groceries or whatever. But most of the time I'm sitting in front of the computer trying to learn. So
Yeah. One thing I found is when I take those 5 or 10 minute walks at the end of every hour, because they say you should work 50 minutes and take 10-minute break, right? Walk away. Every time I come back, all of a sudden my mind is kind of refocused on my priorities, because you can get distracted during that hour. But all of a sudden when I walk away and I start looking at my day, and it's like, hey, Don, you walked away from that priority, get back on it. And I'll get back on it and knock it out in the next hour. So that sometimes that break can refocus you. All right. Mary, you were talking about computer repair and marketing yourself. How's that going?
yeah, I had a lot of people that I follow on LinkedIn. They gave me some good ideas on how to, and I guess I was kind of scared to start because I thought it, because of failure. And so I'm going to try to draw up, since I'm short of funds with business cards, I'm going to draw one up soon. And then I have a friend that does, she does web pages and graphic design. So she said she'd make it look professional for me. And then I can use that. And of course, I've only had that one job, which really wasn't a repair job. It was, the one that said she could find work for me, she does taxes. So I had to find a file that she needed to do his taxes. When I found that file, everybody was happy and they got their taxes done.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you updated your LinkedIn page to show that you're doing computer repair?
I might have to do that.
We need to talk, my friend.
Yeah, this is your marketing, right? If you're going to be in computer repair, LinkedIn is a great
I've done stuff on there to try to tweak it to make it look good, and I just have to keep doing it more and more.
Yeah, so think about that with Matt. It would be a real good Mr. Denver Broncos shirt. I've never seen a Denver Broncos thing this morning. I heard somebody say something.
It was the computer,
Oh,
one of my devices.
your devices. Yeah, but think also, Carrie, about some of the LinkedIn groups, right? The people will go to groups for computer advice. So if you can be active out there communicating and talk about what you do, there might be an
I have to go,
opportunity for people.
I have to
come
go
it.
back because Matt showed me how to get into a lot of the groups. So I have to go back and look at them and comment on them. Because a lot of them let me in.
They did.
Yeah, I had 3 or 4 that I applied to for groups and they let
Hmm.
me in. So I have to go back and look at the whatever forums that they have and comment and be
Okay.
active in it.
The other thing to do with that, Carrie, is when you see someone that's really like a focused contributor, you want to follow back with them with a connection note to say, hey, it's so nice to meet you or read your stuff. I'd like to connect. And that way you can take your conversation to the next level. In fact, you're kind of setting up what I'm going to talk about in one aspect in just a second. So thank you.
All right.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Matt. I appreciate the opportunity to talk through the past spotlight. It's important that we go back and we think about what we learned last time and how we're, because if we just show up here and we take it and we talk and then we walk away and don't do anything with it, it's a wasted hour. You know, I'm at the John Maxwell conference this week, and the one thing he says is change never happens unless we take intentional action to make the change. So back, Matt, over to you.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk about information reconnaissance. And what I mean by that is, you know, we're in that time of year now that COVID is not as bad as it used to be, where we can go to job fairs and other events. And what I want you to think about, if that's you, how do you follow up with people? So, come on. So first, when you know you're going to a trade show or to a conference, find the list of participants, the speakers, the folks that are going to be there, and know who you want to talk to before you get there, right? And then, of course, when you meet someone, hey, Sandy, so nice to meet you yesterday. I want to follow up with this LinkedIn request. Every chance you meet someone, you should always follow back within a day or so saying, hey, so nice to meet you. Let's connect. And so, Carrie, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's important for you when you meet people, even online, that you take the opportunity to follow up with people. And that's our short 1-minute talk. Any thoughts, any questions?
Well, I've been connecting with a lot of people, and they've been strong people in the cyber community, the cybersecurity, and my LinkedIn group or my connection wise is growing in the connections.
Okay. I need to put you in touch with someone by the name of Colin Guerra. So I'm putting a note to get.
And
Exactly.
then I've got to go back. I did talk a little bit with the one that Don got me connected to, and he gave me a little bit of good insights. I have to reach out to him again.
Okay.
And Jerry Craig has been where you are.
But everything that I've been connected to and trying to work through has been a real help.
Good. All right, anybody else anything on that? If not, we're going to roll into wins and challenges.
Yeah. Part of the recon, of course, is looking at their profiles, seeing if you have a commonality with them. What I did prior to my SAC conference back in fall is send out a LinkedIn connection request and say, hey, I'm looking forward to talking to you at the SAC conference about whatever future opportunities there are. And of course, it was very difficult because it was different in that I knew they would have opportunities at the conference that they were not going to have, that they don't have on their webpage. They didn't have on their, the company didn't have on their job openings based on the type of conference that it was. But when you make that connection prior to getting there, or at least you attempt to make that connection prior to getting there, maybe they might remember you and they might not. And then again, you can do but part of the intel reconnaissance is about the company. I got approached when I got there. It was a company that I didn't reach out to, and they reached out to me, and I didn't know that we made semiconductors here, or not semiconductors, but computer chips here in the United States. But there's one company that has like 10 plants all over the States that does that. And I found it to be an interesting job, but it didn't quite pan out. But it was very interesting conversation. I had about 2 or 3 of them with the same person. They never gave me an offer or anything like that, but you tend to find out things that you just didn't know. So never be confident in your personal knowledge, and just realize that the amount of stuff that you don't know is far greater than the stuff that you do. You know. Then the conference, you follow up. You always follow up, and you send an email. And you know what? Sometimes it's just like you'll read about in Cohort or other places that, you know, people might not follow up with you. They might not return back to you and say anything to you. Hell, I'm still waiting for a response on, hey, how did I go wrong in my interview with John Hopkins Applied Physics Lab? I never got a response. And I thought they were quite a professional organization. That kind of really irked me a little bit. Whereas other folks were like, okay, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you and tell you bam, 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 bam. And, but you always got to ask, you always got to take it with a grain of salt and not take it as being offensive, but taking it as being critical to improve yourself. So those are the couple things that I had.
It's kind of interesting that you're at the John Maxwell conference, because when I was a leadership instructor for 3 years, like I eventually came to find, and I would tell all the folks that I would do, you know, instruct and consult and teach and all that leadership is relationship. It's really all it is. But now that I'm on the backside of this, and I'm not necessarily like a leadership consultant anymore, but now I'm doing the transition mentorship, I've come to find it's the same exact definition for networking. It's relationship. It's just, you know, and it's like, well, you know, relationship, I have to meet with these people weekly and talk with them all the time. And I'm like, well, how many Facebook friends do you have? And do you really do that with all of them? You know, it's not that level. I mean, you might have a few folks in your network that you know that deeply, but yeah, it's just relationship. It's just like he was saying, like just finding commonalities and ways to connect. And it's just building a relationship. It's, you know, and what do you do? Same thing you do in a relationship with a friendship or whatever it might be. It's the same thing with, building that network, following up, checking in, just chit chatting, just getting to know the person, you know, all those things. So it's, everybody makes, especially informational interviews and reconning and, you know, all these words we put to it, sometimes, especially to a transitioning service member, it's scary. They're like, oh, it sounds all technical and official, and it's hard, and it's not, it's really not that hard. I mean, just for introverts like myself, but we can do it, you know. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
And I like that 2 cents, because I think that's something a lot of people need to understand is it's a relationship. You build relationship, you build trust. I like what you just said there.
Yeah, and don't destroy it. You know, when you talk about that connection note, don't destroy it on the first thing you say. I had one yesterday that said, oh, I see that we have a lot of interest in accounting together, that you're all focused in on accounting and finances. And I'm like, I sent a note back and said, so what in my profile talked about accounting? I don't even know if that word is there, right? Immediately they've lost connection. So be careful. You know,
How many franchise requests have you gotten? You know,
oh my
franchise.
God, I have a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, remarkable, stunning. I was with my wife the other day, and I got one and said, hey, someone says I'm stunning. She says, no, my person is allowed to say you're stunning as me. So yeah.
All right. Well, wins and challenges. So good conversations. Wins and challenges. Let's jump in. Who would like to start? Carrie, you want to start?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of challenges this week with school. I was trying to get those 3 chapters done. I almost had it this week and got hung up on the last one. Because they have a couple videos you have to watch and then do a test at the end. And the last test that I was trying to do gave me a little hiccup, so I got to go back and redo it. And just a lot of challenges with trying to get out there and find work.
For computer repair?
And yeah, with doing the computer, working at the church has been really good. Except that they only pay me so much, and then so I have to make it stretch. the good thing was this week with bills, I had some bills that I thought were gonna be pretty high, and they were reasonable. So I was with that extra money that I got this last time for doing a computer repair, it gave me a cushion. So that
Have you
was
thought
something
about talking to the-
that was really good. So
Yeah, it's good. Have you thought about talking to the pastor and see if he's got other churches in the area that could use your skills?
yeah, I didn't know how to. I didn't. He's not really a talkable kind of guy. He's former Marine, so I just didn't know how to. I just didn't know how to reach that or talk about that subject to try to do that.
Tell you what, why don't we make that possibly a spotlight issue? I think the group would have some great ideas for you.
Okay.
It's all about marketing. All right, any wins that you want to touch on? Carrie?
Well, like I said, paying the bills. I had a little bit, a small amount of extra money to go into the next month. I got all my bills paid for the 3 weeks. I got 3 weeks left in March till April. And let's see. Other than that, yeah, I'm other just trying to get going with the Linux Plus. With the as usual, I picked a hard topic, but of course, because I thought it would be doable or pretty easy because I use a Linux computer all the time, but apparently it's not.
Yeah, Linux
But
is a tough language.
I'm gonna get through it. So
Yeah, believe it or not, that certification is one of the highest ones that CompTIA has. So it's
Oh.
yeah, it's no joke.
Right.
That's scary. I'm sure you can do it because
I'm sure I can do it. It's just I got into the spot now where they're talking about even though I know how to do it from Windows to do the partitions, it's
Mhm.
a little bit different, especially if you do it with the command line.
Yeah.
So it's not a walk in the park.
keep at it. You got this.
Yeah.
That's why we're here in this mastermind group. You got people that support you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the attitude. I love the attitude, Carrie. I will get it done. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get there. That's
I'm not. I've given up on myself a lot of times during the past, and I've got a lot of people that are not only here but in other groups that are trying to support me as well too. So
good.
I don't have that opportunity to give up anymore.
All right, we're gonna come back around to you in that spotlight issue. That's good. Pat, give us an update. Wins and challenges.
Good morning. So my wins and challenges. My challenges have been pretty strong this week, this last 2 weeks. The fellowship that I am in is coming to an end and don't know if they're going to be able to hire me or not. They are looking to try and find if there's enough work for me. So I'll find out by the end of the week. My sister-in-law is in the hospital and we've been running up to Denver from Kerrville to try and help her out. So those have been my challenges. My wins is I figured out that I can work on the road. My husband driving, I can sit in the back seat and work on my computer. So that was something I was wondering if I'd be able to do. So that was a huge win for me. So because we travel a lot. So
Good. That's good. So are you able to like use your phone to get a hotspot so you can do internet, or you just
Exactly. So of course, being in the hill country and along the road, you have to worry about dropping signal. So if I have to do a video conference of some type, then we pull over the side of the road. We plan our stop so we know there's internet access. So, but just the regular IT type stuff you can do online.
What service do you have?
AT&T.
Have you seen the map of service?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was able to use that because I was always going to Amarillo and from Junction to
Right.
almost to Abilene, there was nothing. So
There's no signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good stuff. Preston, wins and challenges.
Good morning again. So just briefly the wins. Just a brief recap. I've been spending most of my time focusing on trying to get on at the Department of Energy lab in Kennewick, Washington, where we're moving to. And that's probably the biggest challenge. It almost feels like I'm dating again, and I'm pursuing somebody who's not necessarily interested in me. So at some point I'm going to be like, you know what, this isn't working. It's not you. It's definitely not me. It's not anyway. But I did manage to network and finally weasel my way in with their recruiting department. And I spoke with one of the recruiters last week. She was all, yeah, we're gonna get you in with the hiring managers. We're gonna bypass the ATS. I'm like, cool. And a week later, crickets. But I'll follow up again this week. Try to keep that, keep those boundaries in place where I'm not harassing her on a weekly basis, where I'm over desperate, like, hey, have you got me a job yet? You got me a job yet? No, I'll do it every week. I finished up the Department of Labor workshop with SFL TAP last week. That was really good. Audrey, the lady here in San Antonio that did it, she was a wealth of knowledge. It was amazing. And then I started reading the E-Myth Revisited. So that's it. That's my wins and challenges.
Yeah, in our 11:30 cohort today, we started going through that book. It's a group of entrepreneurs. That is an awesome book.
Yep, you recommended it. So that's why I started reading it. You recommended it when I was in the entrepreneur group, which may eventually wind up going back to, depending on how this toxic relationship goes.
Yeah, how it works through. Good. I'm just going to keep going through my calendar. My picture's Keith.
All right. Well, the wins are easy because, yeah, my daughter's in town, so it's always good to see her. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm on leave this week, so yeah, it's awesome. Of course, I'm never fully disconnected from work. That's the one thing about being remote, right? 100% remote. You're always reachable, always can be jumped on. But so that's good. So the challenge, I guess, work related is I've talked about it before. My situation at work, the environment is shifting with new leadership. And now I've even heard that I might be getting poached and yanked from where I currently sit to go work for people that I do not want to go work for. Not even the toxic guy that I've been talking about, but the guy that he works for is also toxic. And so I might be actually getting plucked to go work for him with no pay increase or nothing, no promotion. So I'm like, you're going to poach me, pluck me, put me up there, give me more responsibilities and everything, but you pay me the same? No. So anyway, all that to say, I am now leveraging my wonderful network to hopefully seek some new opportunities within because I don't want to leave the agency. I really do love CISA. This is just a small little part of CISA, so I'm not in any way bad mouthing my agency. Overall, the agency is amazing. So yeah, I've got one really hot lead right now, actually in the recruiting section in HR for CISA. So not veteran recruiting specific. It actually would be college intern recruiting specific, but I got a hot lead on that, but I also have a small lead on. There is one guy that is a veteran recruiter for CISA. He solely does the job, and he is leveraging, or not leveraging. He is what's the word I'm looking for? He's pushing, for lack of a better term, for a second position to open up, to be created, to work alongside him, because he's got way too much to do. And yeah, I've networked heavily with him. I'm on his hip every chance I get. So if that billet gets created, you best believe I'm gunning for that with all I've got. So anyway, that's the challenge. Is at this point, I think I love my current boss, my actual supervisor, but the people above him it's getting a little nasty around here. So yeah, hopefully everything works out.
Are you in a position, very short answer, are you in a position to be able to say no? Strong enough position in the company?
Say no to being plucked?
Yeah, to being moved to another toxic leader.
I doubt it. I can fight it. I can absolutely fight it. And if they try to do it before I find a new opportunity within the agency, you best believe I'm going to fight it. But whether or not I have any power to really do it, probably not. I mean, it's the federal government, a lot like the military. You don't always get to pick who you work for, kind of thing. So yeah, they're doing a restructure. That's how they're shifting other people around too. And so yeah, we'll see.
I'll come back to that one in a little bit.
Right.
I'll come back. Billy, wins and challenges.
Yep. So a couple wins. I completed my disc assessment. So There you go, Don.
Saw that. Thanks.
I
Look
scheduled,
forward-
now
look
scheduled the
forward to having
meeting, so.
Look forward to having the debrief with you.
Yeah, my apologies for taking so long. And then I'm receiving numerous referrals from a connection on LinkedIn. He sends me like 3 to 5 people, and they're not referrals like necessarily for Fusion Cell, but they're referrals for me to, kind of talk to veterans and transitioning service members, help them through the process and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it. And like I said, he's sending me like 3 to 5 a week. So I'm really getting my numbers up there. So
right.
helps with the reputation, I guess you'd say. Kind of like Keith, I strive to be like him in that area. So
You gotta get more gray in your beard then.
I know, apparently, right? Need a little
Daughters will do
longer.
that to you.
Needs a
Daughters
little
do that
longer
to you.
too. Yeah.
Daughters will do that for you.
Challenges, just really documenting my meetings, for work and then for the outside work that I do. Really not to necessarily keep track of things, but at least document, that I've, how many people I've talked to and, what MOSs they come from and stuff like that. Kind of helps keep me on track and everything. So that's my challenge.
All right. All right. Sam, how about you? Wins and challenges. Then we'll come to Aldo and Taylor.
Wins. I started my new job on Monday last week. It was good. I've been looking forward to it for a while. My integration is going well. That's kind of a win. I haven't found anybody that I truly hate and don't want to work with. So it's been great so far. Challenges, which is surprising to me, but the challenge is that we only work in the office 2 days a week and we're at home 3 days a week. I've only been there for a week and it's interesting so far. So I think that's a challenge for me. Another one is getting my stuff situated. I finally got my stuff from my travels last Wednesday. So I've been trying to unpack and get everything in its right places. Weather's kind of crappy here in Connecticut, although we haven't got any snow yet. And being away from Texas is a challenge. And then I haven't been able to read lately in the last week or two because I've just been getting situated. So that's a challenge as well. I need to get back into doing that. So those are my wins and challenges.
All right. Aldo, good to see you. Come up on mine, Aaron.
Oh,
Tell
great
us
to
wins
see-
and challenges.
Great to see everybody. Sorry I've missed 2 sessions, but and I'm driving to become a Texas resident because I got to change my driver's license. So, wins. Not much. Just working on the house. Thanks to the Army for making me a plumber, a construction guy, and cutting grass. So I'm working on some plumbing. So that's only the only challenge. Wins. It's been a great week. I mean, being home with the family, making those connections and talking to people, marketing myself out there. It's been a blessing. But and we had the conversation with Don about my resume, which I already did it, Don. So I'm gonna forward it to you. I took your advice and I tested out and I got really good attention on it. So
All right. Good to hear.
Hey, Aldo, what part of Texas?
Houston,
Okay.
but I went and registered my vehicle yesterday and I thought Texas was veteran friendly and I had to pay $410 for 2 vehicles. I was like, I'm active duty. She's like, no, I don't care. I'm
So
like, all right.
Aldo, let me tell you something. Let me give you some good news. When you get your disability, then all you pay is a processing fee. So my taxes are real low after you get your disability rating. Okay.
You're
Just know.
talking driver's license, man, or are you talking
Registration fees.
for the vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah, I did those, and today I'm doing. That's what I'm driving right now to do my driver's license, And I called the veterans office in Harris County, and the lady told me, when you get your DD 214, she said, bring it back and we will refund those or go those towards your yearly registration. So
There you
like,
go.
okay.
Not sure how it is in Houston. San Antonio, you get free parking at the airport too. And there's some free parking downtown. So
Yeah, that's how it is here, Don, but you gotta have your DD 214 and your disability. But if you're
Yeah.
active duty, you don't get any of it.
okay. So it's coming for you. It's coming.
Oh, it's going, thank God it's going as planned. Everything, the entire transition.
Good.
I've checked my block as I go. Now the only last block is when April comes, like we talked about it. Put my open to work and get a couple offers, check that block and start leave July 6th, hopefully to start working July 7th. And yeah, after that, time to give back. So
There you go. All right, good stuff. All right, let's wrap up. Wins and challenges, Deandra. Good to see you in this group. Made the transition.
Hi,
Hope
how
you
are
found-
you?
I was just looking to make sure. I said, "Oh, she found the right link and everything." At least you
And
did,
the
so that's
right
good.
time.
Yeah. So wins and challenges. Catch us up.
Yeah, so a lot of good things have been happening in my life. Thank you. So wins, I've been employed. So y'all, it's not my dream job. I'm the secretary. It's only a GS8, and I say this, it's only a secretary job, but it is a secretary position for a couple generals in A310 here at USAFE. The reason I say that is just a secretary job, and it is only a GS8 job. Again, it's not my dream job. However, being in a position, first and foremost, I'm a spouse. So coming out here, it was just trying to get back into the federal sector. And secondly, being in that position, it has opened up doors for me. I'm able to, constantly make connections and network, which brings me to, I should be getting on a 365 active duty orders. I just haven't told my boss yet, but that's coming up. And of course, there were other positions that I was referred to that, are GS 11 and 12s. So a lot of good wins. And again, I shared that, it may not necessarily be the position that you're looking for. However, on the bright side, it's, how can you make the best out of it? And for me, it's, being grateful that I have the position, and no matter the job or, the pay, my plan has always been to give 110% and know that, somewhere down the line, something better may come out of it. So
That's right.
those, that's been my wins. The challenge is learning how to kind of get out of that mindset where if I'm a contractor or if I'm a federal employee, I only work so many hours out of the day, and just kind of having that, the mindset of, okay, after so many hours, that's it. And tomorrow I can go ahead and start, start again. And that's always been an issue for me, even when I'm on active duty. It's just try to make the shift of, oh, okay, I don't need to work no 10 hours or 12 hours. The job can get done the next day. So for me, the challenge has been time management. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Well, great to
So
have you
good
in this
to-
group.
So good to see you.
Thank you. I know I miss everyone. It's super important, right? Especially for me, like just listening to everyone's wins and their challenges, like just to have that type of interaction versus just the daily grind. So I'm excited to be back. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed. You started right away with the just a secretary, just a GSA, and you wrapped it around to the benefits and stuff and the mindset piece. And I was really worried there for a minute, but you brought it back around, and I'm really impressed that you were.
I had to reword it.
Yeah, exactly. The words that come out of your mouth become the things that you believe. You got to be very careful.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
good job. It's all about opportunities. The better you perform there, the other opportunities, we can already see it through. So that's good.
Thank
All right,
you.
spotlight everybody. Who's got a question, thought, issue they want to bring to the group? Should have come out in the reminder this week, a little worksheet that I gave you. We talked about it 2 weeks ago.
I have one.
Go
I
ahead,
have one.
Alvin.
I have a good one actually. So when you apply as a transition service member, when you apply for a job, and the first thing you hear is, what's your rank? I'm sorry for the language, but how the hell you respond to that and trying to deviate out of that? Because I've had that question by officers that work, I'm not going to mention the company, and pretty much not in a direct way, but indirect way. They're like, oh, you were enlisted, so might as well, apply for a bank associate. So I called my mentor and I was like, hey, Joe, what the heck is a bank associate? He was like, he's a bank teller. And I was like, what? Like, how you respond to that, and they judge your position or what you qualified based on your rank?
Hey, can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
You
if
can
you don't
jump in
mind, I
and give
mean,
the first response.
I'm
ahead.
enlisted as well. And so, and to give you an example, this position that I'm applying for, she's a lieutenant colonel and she does not want to hire a senior NCO, and I'm a chief. And so here's the thing, right? I'm fine with that. I understand. However, hey, let me sell myself and let you know that, I can talk, I can research, I can network. And so here's the thing, right? If the intent is for whomever that is a preference, it's just selling yourself to let them know that based off of your experience X, Y, and Z, and you kind of break it down, you can do the same job as an officer. So that has been my experience.
Yep, sell your value. That's a real good one. Thanks, DeAndre. Anybody else got a comment back for Alvin? I can see Sam biting at the bit. Go ahead.
So when you have, if it's a military recruiter that's asking you something like that, that's where sometimes going through another recruiter is probably the better way, and getting that connection with somebody else that's not a military recruiter. If they're asking you about what your rank is, I think you focus on, hey, this is what the requirements of the job are. Here are my skills that I'm doing, and this is what I'm capable of doing. And some people, I don't know, military recruiters are sometimes looking at it as a caste system, and it's not a caste system. Okay, some soldiers are freaking outstanding. I had a specialist who had a master's degree. That was my super high frequency telecommunications chief. Okay, I would hire him in a New York minute, no matter what his rank was. Okay, the guy was super intelligent, super smart, knew what the heck he was doing. He just wanted to go in the Army, and he was excellent. Now he's freaking at the higher levels because, again, he had a master's degree. He demonstrated those skills. But then again, I had guys and gals that were not master's degree people, still super high intelligence. So it's focus on the skill sets, focus on what you're bringing to the table. And yeah, that's what my rank was, but that doesn't mean I'm not worldly, because I would take any military member that's been all over the world and done things in our environment over everybody else. But sometimes those military recruiters are former military members, and they have the viewpoint of how they lived their career or how they had their career, and they thought all the junior enlisted were stupid. Okay, and they're not. Okay, I mean, you had some dummies out there, but they're not dumb. Okay, Many of them are freaking highly intelligent and really good at what they do because the ASVAB shows it. Okay, if you're doing those kind of jobs, you have those skill sets. You have the ability to think. But focus on the skill sets, focus on what you're bringing to the table, focus on your experiences, because sometimes those military recruiters didn't ever have that. They just have that prejudice against junior enlisted saying, oh, you're just not smart. Okay, which I saw that in the high schools when I was doing recruiting for the Army and things like that, oh, in the Army, you're all a bunch of dummies. No, soldiers are not dumb. Marines are not dumb. Airmen are not dumb. Nobody's dumb. Okay, and going in the military is probably one of the smartest things that somebody can do because it increases your drive, motivation, ability to see the world. And that's something that I think you can bring to the table, and you deflect and say, hey, let's talk about the skills. Okay. And maybe they aren't going to like that. Maybe that's not a company you want to work for. So couple different sides of this.
Yeah, I think Sam is spot on, and I would love to hear from Matt real quick on the public affairs piece, right? Because you answer the question that you want to answer that needs to be answered, not the one necessarily they ask.
I'm just going to say what Sam says, you do unique things, you step up to the challenge, in the Air Force, there's no rank. If you have the potential, then do it. And I did have some informational sessions with the Navy when I first got to Naples. And fortunately I had an Air Force colonel that reminded him that we don't treat our NCOs like idiots, and that if you ask them, you can do great things. So yeah, it's just a matter of attitude and standing up for yourself.
Yep. What'll happen, Aldo, is you'll get wrapped into answering their question, and you won't get an opportunity to say what Sam wants you to say. And I think Sam is spot on. Focus on other requirements, focus on your skills. And you and I going through your resume last week, holy crap, you got some incredible thought, your thinking, your experience, the examples of stuff that you could talk about from your resume of the financial, and you're going for a financial manager, you are more than qualified for that. So if somebody tries to push you down to a lower level, it's
the thing is that done every time. I mean, not all, but a few always had with the military recruiters in the companies. But when I give it to the civilian, and I brought it up to her right off, she was a military spouse too, and she's like, I don't care what you were. She said, what degrees do you have? What qualifications do you have? What experience you have? You back it up, she said. And so I brought that conversation up because, to get from Bill and to get, like his point of view on it, because there's a lot of, Veterans Affairs offices within the company that I think personally, not all, but, a small percentage do more damage to service members than help them out. And that's why I was like, I give it to the civilians. They was like, sure. And I already have 3 interviews within the same company set up for next week. So it's like the difference was night and day. And that's why I brought it up, like how to approach those. And I appreciate everybody's feedback and advice, if it comes up in the future. So
Can I put my hiring manager hat on a second and ask a couple questions, clarifying questions, if I may?
Yes.
So Aldo, did these people have a copy of your resume before they asked these questions?
No, but I sent it to them.
So but they were kind of like cold intros kind of thing. Okay. Is it?
Yes. So the first thing they asked me was, what's your rank?
Yeah. Is it? I'm just trying to think, like, I like to think nobody's a bad person at heart. I mean, there are evil people out there. We all know that. But my thinking is like, I'm trying to think, like, as a hiring manager, because I've been in that seat for quite a while. Like, why would I ask such a question? And I'm just trying to think, maybe they didn't mean ill will by it. Maybe it is just their way of just trying to get a quick, like, I don't have your resume right in front of me. I just need to get as much information about you as quickly as I can. Let me start off with that as like just a starting point, like a launching point, and then go from there. Like I'm just trying to think of, like, is there a way to maybe not think of that question as negatively? Because they may have a positive way they're going with it, and they may be putting you into a box, and everything else has been said may be completely valid. I'm not discounting saying it's not, but I'm wondering if there's also a side where they may just be trying to get, okay, let me get a quick snapshot of this guy so we can direct the conversation from there. So let me start out, because yeah, I mean, if I ask you what rank you were, that will at least give me somewhat of an idea, you know. And if they're former military, yeah, I would have to believe they're going to know that you probably, you know, had extracurricular duties and all these other responsibilities, you know, yada yada yada. So I'm hoping they were just making that as, let's just start there and then we'll go from there in the conversation. But I could be off.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Keith. Thank you.
Hey, Aldo.
That was really good.
Hey, Bill.
Aldo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Was it a recruiter or a hiring manager that you spoke with?
No, the person actually was a VP inside that he was trying to refer me. And the first thing he said, he was like, "Oh, you enlisted, you know, the bank associate will be a really good fit for you." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And it was like,
Yeah.
because he judged it, and that's why I stepped away and I went to a civilian, because the first thing he said was like, I'm not gonna mention the company, but it's that I stopped. I didn't even know what to say. I froze. I was like, and usually I'm pretty quick at getting out of situations, but this one it's been like, this is pretty much the first time that somebody judged me based on my rank, and I'm like, okay, I'm a E7, like what? I don't know what else to say. I was like, I worked at G8 finance, and I was like, if you want to talk my military background, I told him. He was like, yeah, tell me about it. And I was like, yeah, I went to this school, this school, this school. And he after that, he goes, oh, why'd you get your Ranger tab? I was like, because I wanted to get it. Like, why did I get, like everybody else in the military trying to get the schools? I was like, he was like, so you are a Ranger? I was like, no, I'm not a Ranger. I never been to the regiment. So like, I don't know what was his deal, but I was like, you know, I deviated out of it. And you know, like I thanked him for his advice and opportunity, and I just stepped away from it. So
Does he have a military background?
yeah, he does 10 years. He got out as a captain.
He's probably just
And-
got some. He's probably just got some, like, you know, ill will or something happened to him, or
Yeah.
it's more of a personal thing than it is a professional thing, in my opinion. And you know, he's just an ignorant person. So,
And after that, that's why he told me my resume was good, and I was like, it doesn't look good. So that's why I had the session with Don, and you know, like it was totally the opposite what Don taught me, and you know, like how to make it better. As soon as I implemented those, which I got to send it back to Don, and like I got all kind of attention in Indeed and Zip Recruiter and all that, and I put it in LinkedIn. You know, I built my resume in LinkedIn too. So it was like totally the opposite.
Yeah. There's a thing called abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. And it sounds like the individual has a scarcity mindset. He's already kind of made up his mind of, you know, if somebody with 6 years enlisted experience should be this level, entry level, whatnot. And instead of, like Keith and Billy are saying, instead of getting upset, or Sam is saying, you know, come back around to, you know, here are my qualifications, right? And you're, you know, I'm looking for a position in this range because here's my experience. This is what I've done. This is what I'm doing for in my fellowship today. I think I've got those capabilities well beyond the, you know, the teller. So all right, we're just about out of time here. So Aldo, hope that helps you. I want to touch one thing with Carrie real quick. Does that give you the answers that you need, Aldo, for the?
Yeah, and I apologize. You know, I didn't want it to, you know, offend it, you know, like the military recruiters, and you know, like I just thought, because a lot of service members that don't talk openly, I had the chance to talk to them, and some of the companies that have done this to other service members that I had the pleasure talking to. So
yeah,
Can I say something real quick?
That's a great question. I want to move on to something with Carrie real quick. We're just out of time. So shoot it in the if you want to give it to Aldo, shoot it in the chat there. So Carrie was talking a little bit about marketing himself, marketing his business. We got like 1 minute, so there's got to be like 15-second tidbits. What can Carrie do to market his computer business to potential clients? Go. Anybody? Matt?
I was waiting for everybody else to participate. Okay, always be looking for opportunities when you talk to people in the grocery store or other things, and just tell them what you do. And then, oh, I need help with this. What would it cost? Just be open to helping people. And when people know that you do that, then have a price range for what it's going to cost to fix things. So if you were here in
All right.
San Antonio, right?
I'm gonna cut you off. You're over 15 seconds. Billy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you're not on your local neighborhood next door, Facebook sites and stuff like that, make sure you get on them, advertise through that, through the marketplace, whatever the case may be.
That's a good one. Anybody else?
Social media,
In what way?
what y'all taught us as far as with, tagging on LinkedIn, just constantly reposting, sharing. And the same thing with, if you're on Facebook, if you post something on your page, I'd love to share it. So just kind of getting it out there, social media, word of mouth.
There you go. One last comment. Anybody? 15 seconds or less.
Good old fashioned flyers everywhere.
Flyers is a good one. Yep. And beauty with virtual is you can do a lot of digital flyers that cost a lot. You can put them in a lot of places. But having them out in businesses is good. All right. Thanks for that suggestion. Carrie, does that help? Give you
That
some
did help.
ideas for marketing yourself? Okay. All right, we're gonna, sorry, Matt, to have cut you off.
That's okay.
Just wanted to get through that. So let's go to accountability. We do have about 5 minutes, so 30 seconds each. What's one thing we can hold you accountable for the next 2 weeks? I'm gonna start at the bottom of my screen, Elmo. You there? If not, we'll go to Deandra.
Yeah, accountable. I'll be back on, for me, it's just getting back on LinkedIn.
In what way?
Continuing my daily posts.
Okay. Sam, what can I hold you accountable for?
I'm gonna try to make a friend here in Connecticut now that I'm here. Still learning people, still trying to, find somebody to chill out with now that I'm here. I'm an introvert, so it's very difficult to do that, but I need to do that.
Is there a forum like a church or a social
I'm gonna figure
group?
that out. I gotta figure that out. I don't
Figure it
know.
out, okay. Keith.
I'm really kind of racking my brain. Coming up blank. Boy, you said 15 seconds or less, and I'm still racking my brain. So maybe circle back to me. All right.
I'll come back to you. Billy.
Yeah, just continue to hold me to my LinkedIn posts. I didn't get any out last week. I don't believe, and then I've only gotten one out so far this week. So yeah, it's another challenge for me. So
Let's talk sometime about what might be holding you back. Okay. Preston.
Just to start expanding my search from one organization, maybe out to 2 or 3 organizations. I'm also looking at other career fields that I'm interested in, trying to decide where my passion and skill set intersect.
Okay. Pat. Pat's still there. Pat, can you hear me? Accountability.
I can now.
There you go.
Just getting out of the office and setting boundaries.
Excellent. And Carrie.
Well, we're gonna work on trying to market and with the business cards and also try to talk with my pastor about more jobs, about being able to, help more churches.
Yeah, John Maxwell has a great question he asks at the end of every conversation. Who do you know that I should? And,
Good
you
one.
can particularly ask your pastor, what other pastors do that? What other churches might, what people within the congregation, maybe that I don't know that, might have, computer needs or something like that. You could ask it a lot of different ways. All right, back to you, Keith.
All right, I'm gonna go with work-life balance. Yeah, been having to travel a lot in the course of 6 weeks. I'm already about halfway through a 6-week window where I'm on the road 4 out of those 6 weeks, and then one of those weeks I'm on leave with my daughter. So, yeah, work-life balance, because things are starting to bleed over. Wife isn't caring for so much, all of the travel that's happening. So, being intentional of when I'm off work, or I'm not, when I'm not mentoring or working, I'm intentional spending time with the family.
There you go.
Got some thoughts on that, my friend. Let's talk about that later, okay?
Yeah. Aldo, are you still there? We'll finish with you if you're there. If not, we are.
Yeah, I'm here. I apologize,
Okay.
Don. Yes,
Accountability.
I'll finish all my house projects before I head down to Fort Benning, finish my 90 days. So
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Matt, you want to touch on the next webinar coming up on the 22nd?
That is right. We are having Glenda Rass talk about how to make an 180-degree turn in your career. That's going to be at 6:30. Be looking for the Zoom link in the invitation. We'd love to see you there. And better yet, share with other people that they could benefit from this, because it's going to be a really interesting program.
Yeah. And I'm going to kick out there that same question. Who do you know that we should know?
Yes.
Who else is transitioning that could benefit from a group like this to focus in on issues? What other companies or individuals do you know that want to give to support military in their transition? We would love to have a conversation with them about how they could support us. A teaming relationship. What are they looking for? Advertisement, stuff like that. What can we get? Maybe financial. How can we help each other? So appreciate you thinking about both of those.
Hey,
And I
Don,
think at
quick
that
question
point-
for you.
Go ahead.
I've got several that, I can send over to you guys. Y'all aren't limited on bandwidth or, people that can join the MTR or anything other than, like friends and family necessarily. They have to be a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, correct?
So anybody who is serving, has served, or is a spouse thereof,
Okay.
with at least a general and above, active guard and reserve. So it's about as far open as we can make it.
All right. I got about 15 I could probably send your way.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Billy.
No problem, Matt.
That'd be great. Love to have the conversation. All right, Matt, did I miss anything?
No, I think we've really covered a lot of interesting things today, and it's the attitude. It's like, don't let the rank define you. I think that's just a really great discussion. And believe me, it's something that I've been working with for years. It's like, yep,
I gotta go.
All right, bye, Billy. Talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
and I think the best part somebody came around with is don't get all upset. Like Aldo, you're talking, don't get all upset about the question. Think about what they're, maybe why they're coming there, and just be curious and send your message. All right, well, everybody, you have a great couple weeks. I think Matt wanted to talk to somebody right afterwards. I don't know who that was
Keith.
again.
It was Keith.
Okay.
We're just having a
Rest
quick
of you,
conversation.
Sam, stay warm up there in that new climate. Sounds like that big storm's coming through. Yeah. So stay warm, stay dry, stay healthy. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Matt, you're already host, so I'm going to drop off and head back to the conference.
Okay, great.
I will not be here for 10 o'clock. So you and Aaron have that one, and I'll be back at 11:30.
Right, got it. Hey, Keith.
Yes, sir.
I'm working on some slides. I'm doing
Okay.
something different.
Sure.
I'm going to use Canva as our presentation tool. I'm going to send you a link later. Today, I woke up with the crud. It's like,
Yeah.
I had so much that I had to go to use the men's room, and so it's not that,
Okay.
but I've got it done. I worked on it yesterday. I've got some notes. I got to tell you, this AI chat stuff, man. Ooh, it really streamlines that stuff. So
Really?
like,
Okay.
oh yeah, I said job interviews is gave me, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I hadn't thought of that. It's still my stuff, but it's like, it's this new chat AI stuff is like, yeah,
Okay.
it really streamlines it. So I'm gonna send you some slides later today.
Sounds good. I'll be looking for 'em.
You doing okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Doing good.
And then maybe we can set up time to do this. I'm looking at I have some new tools. Animoto is one that I'm using that my son and I have looked at. So it's probably a way to push all that together. So we've really got a new improved way of doing things. So look forward to sharing that with you, and I'll see you via Zoom soon.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Looking forward to
My
it.
friend, you have a good one.
You too, sir. I hope you feel better. I'll be praying for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And by the way, how's the sobriety going?
Oh, rock solid. I don't even remember. I actually realized like last night, I was like, I don't even remember what week I'm on anymore at this point. So
Good for you. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
all right, bro.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Yep.